All right, quick little tutorial here on the skeleton is walking guitar part. So, a little bit of improv there. The first thing you want to do before you focus on that melody there it is. Weird how it's harder to play alone. First, you just want to think about the chords that are going to be played in the background, because you're playing melody and bass for a lot of this riff. So first, memorize this chord progression. G to C. You'll notice I walked up, right? G, A, B, C. Back to G. Now to A minor. Back to G again. To F. E minor, C, D. And you'll put that F sharp in the bass. All this is relative to capo. So don't worry about integrating the melody until you can memorize that chord progression. G, C, G, A minor, G, F, E minor, C, D. Now, once you've got that down, they kind of improvise the entire song when you see them live. Like, there's a lot of weird counter melodies. Right, all these kind of dissonances. The way I like to do this is to trill that first chord. So I'm just going, and all it is a G with the melody note of C up at the top here. And then you pull it off to the B string. So that next melody, to get both the notes and the bass, all you're going to do is play an octave here, right? Open A string, A on the G string, that's your second fret. Then you're going to switch. Now your G string is open and you're playing the second fret on the A string. Now, when you play your C chord, the melody note needs to be the third fret of the B string. It's a D normally, right? So again. Then we're going to play this tiny voicing of a G, right? It's like a G chord, but without either of the E strings. So 2 on the A string, 3 on the B string, and then first you're going to hit your open E string with that A string. You'll do the third fret twice, and then open. So next chord is going to be open A string, second fret of the D string, open G string, third fret of the B string. Right, so back to our G with this high E melody note, returning to the third fret of the B string, open fret of the B string. Now here I'm playing the root note of the F and then I'm playing the third all the way up here, that A note. Now you can have an open G string if you want, or you can, octave that F. When you play your E minor, second fret of the G string, then release it. When you play the C chord, just kind of strum it, move that melody note from the first fret to the third fret. And then when you play that D with the F sharp in the bass, as long as you're playing the F sharp, the open D string, and the second fret of the G string, you're in the clear. Almost played all the right chords. So from there, once you're used to this kind of pattern, you can mess around with maybe strumming a chord one string at a time. Maybe, for that A minor shape, that A minor chord where we're actually putting that D up there, maybe you play A minor 9, right? Just to give it a little bit of a weird flavor. Or instead of, maybe you make a new melody at the top. Really, it's endless. But that's kind of your basic framework for it. First get the chords, then get the basic melody movement. When you're really comfortable from there and you don't have to think about your left hand, don't have to think about your right hand, you can add a little bit more there. Don't be afraid to hit wrong notes. Sometimes hitting those really strange... I heard Chris Weisman and Blake do stuff like that at Pico Union. So just see what the weird note sounds like. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't, but that's how you discover new things. Hopefully that was helpful. Let me know if you got any questions.